Welcome to this presentation. We will discuss about the client module. A client is built through projects in Abak. The client name must not exceed 60 characters and the number has a maximum of 15 digits long. Address is printed on invoice, therefore it is important to ensure its accuracy. The associated language is the one used by default when billing, but it can be changed if the billing contact is assigned to a different language. The email address can be used for sending invoices by email. In this case, you must also select Send Invoice by Email under Invoicing and Accounting tab. For that feature, some restrictions apply. You will find more information on sending invoices by email in the document called How to Send Your Customers Invoice by Email. Phone and fax numbers always have the same format, and a mask can be configured in the System Configuration module. This mask allows you to enter the 10-digit numbers without parentheses and dashes. In the Others section, the type of business and group 1 and 2 can be created by the user in the reference tables. Those fields are designed for statistical purposes and reports. The corporate entity is not required unless you use one of the available accounting integrations and activate the seamless synchronization of customers in the system configuration. Customer status has 5 values. For the following 4 values, inactive, completely stop credit, partially stop credit, and potential, it is possible to prohibit the creation of new projects on these clients. To do this, you must enable this validation in System Configuration under the Option tab. The Employee section is used to define a resource who will be considered responsible, for example, a client manager. The terminology can be adapted to your needs through the System Configuration under the Terminology tab. For example, the Resource 2 could be renamed to be called Senior Associate. Note that these resources are not necessarily the ones that will log time on the project. Most reports can sort or filter the information accordingly to one or the other of these 4 resources, a concept which is also found at the project level. It is also possible to create dummy resources. This type of resource can be used at will and has no impact on the software license. Dummy resources are meant to be used for reports and to track other metrics such as geographic area, the fiscal year end, etc. On the Invoicing and Accounting tab, it is possible to determine if whether or not a default invoice must contain one or multiple projects. You can, however, go against the default setting when creating a draft invoice. The Currency field is used to create invoices in the client currency. Currencies as well as exchange rates can be updated under the reference tables. If the customer wishes to receive invoices by email, check the appropriate box and make sure the client or the billing contact contains a valid email address. The field Tax Code Virtual does not have to be used unless you are using the virtual accounting software. It can be hidden in the Security module. Tax field must be assigned at the opening of the customer record. These taxes apply to the total invoice and must have been previously created using the reference tables. In the GL section, if your chart of accounts has only one account receivable, for instance 1200, leave this field blank. However, if you are working with 2 different accounts, one Canadian and one American, then enter here the appropriate GL. The Cumulative section displays some statistics on hours worked on on-client projects. These data are updated on demand using the module Cumulative Recalculation found in the Admin menu. Recalculation may also be launched for this client only by clicking on the calculator icon located on top of the window. It is possible to configure Abak so that recalculation is done automatically for all clients and all projects every night. Contact technical support should you want to turn it on. The Note tab allows you to enter management information. The User-Defined Field tab allows you to create up to 99 additional fields that may contain information that is not available in the standard client record. For example, the payment method. These fields originate from the admin menu under User-Defined Fields. They can be of different types, such as enumeration, date, time, alphanumeric, or numeric. Each field can be defined as mandatory. The buttons at the top allow you to create, delete, duplicate, display datebook notes, display project, display contacts, display transaction, display invoices, proceed to cumulative recalculation, and finally, access to file management. It is possible to define a client as a template. When creating a new customer, this template is brought by default and already contains the basic information that are often redundant, such as the corporate entity, the province, country, currency, and taxes. The customer template must be created first, then defined as such in the corporate entity module under Other Information. It is possible to import your clients via an Excel file. See the documentation for the import.